Hey guys, welcome to the new video, which happens to be on Dollywood, which I visited Memorial Day week, so Monday through Friday. I've only had 3 days at the park, and I used one of those days to go to the water park, so I was at this park for 2 days, and let me just start off by saying this footage all belongs to Coaster Studios, as you can see by the watermark in the bottom corner, which I have not removed. I will keep it there, as I did not record anything when I went to this park, and I usually do not record when I go to parks or anything like that, because I just want to enjoy the experience. So all this footage belongs to him, and it is great footage, I will say. I like it a lot. But anyway, let's get on to this review, and let's start with the first ride I rode, which is obviously Lightning Rod, as it is the closest to the entrance and by far the best in the park. I mean, let's be real, it's amazing. Although my family didn't agree with me, they all had mixed opinions on which one was the best, and none of them thought Lightning Rod was the best. So, there's that. But I did, because it is absolutely amazing. So there's just so much airtime. Like, I rode it in the front and the middle. I never rode it in the back, because it's just at the bottom. It was very rattly, and I didn't really want to ride in the back because of that. It kind of just made me want to back away from it, because it just seemed like it would be a bit more violent back there, even though I've heard it's better from the 2016 season. They fixed it a bit. It was still a little rattly at the bottom of the first drop. Even in the front, it kind of hurt a little bit. And probably my only complaint is the seatbelt, and the seatbelt / restraints, because the restraints are very restrictive, and the seatbelt happens to be right where the restraints would come down on you, so it's metal, and it would jam into your leg if you don't move it. And I didn't move it my first time going on it, so on all that ejector airtime, when it threw me up against the restraint, the seatbelt was jamming into my thigh. It was still fun, but it kind of just made it a little painful. It's still a great ride. That was just a little complaint. All you have to do is take the part of the seatbelt that you would tighten it with. You gotta pull it back towards you to get it out from under the restraint, because otherwise it will be slightly uncomfortable. Just keep that in mind. But this quadruple down, it was phenomenal. There was so much ejector airtime. It's unexplainable how much ejector airtime was in it. Even though there's technically 6 airtime hills in a row, instead of 4, like they say a quadruple down, since that's 4, there are 6. You can even count it if you watch a POV. There are 6 airtime hills consecutively in a row right around the end. But the quadruple down is the main airtime moments that go down the mountainside. And the coaster is also just beautiful, and the launch is amazing. It feels amazing. Especially since it's slightly more forceful than some launches, since it's going up at such an angle, you get pressed back in your seat more than with a normal, just horizontal launch. But it was still very fun. I really, really like this coaster. Definitely one of the best RMCs. Definitely the best RMC wooden coaster, gotta say. It's a great ride. Definitely a must visit. I mean, not a must visit. Definitely a must ride. This whole park in general is a must visit. If you just ride Lightning Rod, it's still worth it. I drove 8 hours to this park, and I would have been fine just riding Lightning Rod. Absolutely great. Now let's see what I rate it. What would I say? Out of 10, I'd probably rate it a 9.5. No, I'd give it a 10. What am I saying? No, it's definitely a 10. I would give it a 15. It's amazing, a very fun, exhilarating ride. Definitely a must ride at this park if you visit. Probably your number one ride to hit up at this park. On to the next ride I rode, which is Blazing Fury. This is the little indoor family coaster. With it has 3 drops and it's kind of a mix with coaster and dark ride. But it was still a pretty fun ride. I waited 15 minutes. It was kind of worth it. But if it's like longer than 30 minutes, definitely go. I would skip it and come back to it. But you definitely should ride it. It's still a must ride. But I wouldn't wait over 30 minutes. I might not even wait over 20. It's just keep that in mind. It's still a fun ride though. I would give it probably a 4.5 out of 10. On to Tennessee Tornado, the one of the last aero coasters ever made, and it's probably, from what I've heard from people who've ridden a lot of arrows, it's one of the best arrows, and I can definitely see that. It's a very fun ride. Very short though. I will say that's my one complaint. It's pretty short. But there's little to no headbanging. I think there's just a slight jerky moment after the first inversion. A little bit, but other than that, very smooth for an arrow. Very smooth. I would say almost B&M type of smooth. And it was designed by Alan Schilke. One of his first designs for a ride. And it's a very fun ride. Definitely a must ride when you visit. I would give Tennessee Tornado an 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. Somewhere in between 8 and 8.5. On to Wild Eagle, the first wing coaster that was ever built in the U.S. It is kind of different from other wing coasters because it has a normal drop aside from the wing over drop where you twist into a half loop and you just dive down in a half loop. I would say I wish it did have that style of drop, but I mean it is what it is. It's still a fun ride nonetheless, but definitely from what I've heard, it's not one of the better wing coasters. It's actually one of the worst wing coasters. Just because the other ones have a better drop and better elements. Like this one, it's fun but short. Like I feel like it's just a little. It's a shy bit short. And the faster trains kind of make it hard to breathe. I will say it. They make it a little hard to breathe. But aside from that, it's still a very fun coaster. Definitely a must ride. I loved the feeling of just being to the side of the track with nothing above or below you, and it was my first wing coaster. Now I am also gonna ride X-Flight in about a week and a half. So I've heard X-Flight is better, and it probably is, but still definitely a fun wing coaster and a must ride if you visit this park. And I just, in general, I loved this ride. And the color scheme kind of makes it pop. I really like it. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. On to the next ride, which is Fire Chaser Express, which is a very good family coaster. I really did like it. It's just, like, the line for it was so long. It took me, I didn't get to it till my last day because of how long the line was. I would say it's fun because it launches forwards and backwards. The first launch being forwards, the last launch being backwards, and it's pretty fun actually for a family coaster. I would give it, well, okay, first it's a must ride, and I would give it a 6 out of 10. On to the next one, which is Mystery Mine, which is a very fun coaster, might I add. Definitely one of my top favorite coasters here. I would say it's probably my number 2 or 3, somewhere around there. I haven't really made an official list to myself, but definitely a fun one, definitely up there. It does have a little bit of headbanging here and there, but it's still a fun ride. It has a very sharp 90-degree drop near the beginning, And it has a very good theme for a coaster like it. I really enjoyed it. It kind of also has some dark ride elements slightly towards the beginning and around. It's very fun. And it has two drops, two pretty big drops. One 90 degrees, very sharp drop. Well, I said, what might I add? And then a 95-degree drop, so beyond vertical drop. Towards the end, and into one barrel roll, which goes into a dive loop. And brings you back into the rake run. Very fun coaster, definitely a must ride. I really liked it. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. On to the last coaster at this park, which is Thunderhead. I did enjoy this ride, but I only rode it once because I didn't care to ride it more. I just didn't really find a want to ride it more, but it's slightly like it vibrates, like it's a little rough, very slightly, but I still did like it. And it has some pretty good airtime, and it has a station flyby where you go through the station after this banked turn. Very fun. Definitely did like it. I would give it an 8 out of 10. On to the park as a whole. It's a very beautiful park, very scenic, and has a great assortment of rides and attractions. Has a nice area for kids, or some kids places. Oh, gee, I don't know. It has a nice just atmosphere. It's pretty fun place to be. I definitely liked it. A really, really great park. I would say it's a slightly better than its sister park, Silver Dollar City. But I did thoroughly enjoy both parks by the Hirschen family, and it's just a great place to visit, and really a must visit. And if you do visit, eat the cinnamon bread. It is great. Like, it's absolutely amazing. But for this park as a whole, I'd give it like a 9.5 out of 10. It's a great park. Very beautiful in the Smokies, and some great rides and attractions that it has. Especially its star attraction, Lightning Rod. Definitely amazing. And its reliability was pretty good when I was there. But anyway, I will see you in the next video, which I don't really have an idea for. So if you could like help me with that, like in the comments to give me video suggestions, that would be great. But I will see all of you in the next video, whatever it is. Hopefully I get some suggestions, please. But yeah, great park. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.